there's times where I think if I just had a furnace below my letterbox, my life would not change at all. I cannot even begin. I could live 1,000 lifetimes and I would not get to your fucking letter. Like, no offense, the extent to which I do not have the time for it is absolutely fucking staggering. The idea that I think in their mind, I've got one of those kind of, like the dad in Mary Poppins, where he's got, some correspondence. It's just some routine correspondence from my insurers. Yes, all received, all present and correct, and thank you once again. And dear sirs, and it's like, I get letters that say dear sirs, and I'm like, what? Do you know what fucking century it is?
Insane in the membrane.
Well, because I messaged you this morning, I did WhatsApp because I was up. Our little one had us up at 10 to 5. He decided that was the time that furniture needed moving. It's like, it's not going to move itself.
Oh, okay.
So we were up, and then I was like, maybe he's forgotten, or maybe I've got it wrong. And then you start questioning yourself.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then,
No, I've had some technical issues with my phone as well, where I've managed to. I briefly got a new number, and this is such a point. I can't believe I'm starting with this.
We ease into it. That's fine.
Put your best stuff first. Basically, wait for this. I was on a personal contract and I had to move over to a business. No, other way around. I was on a business contract. I had to move to a personal contract. I got a new number, but I didn't really want the new number. I wanted to go back to the old number. But in the tiny window of time that I was like using this new number, I think I associated my phone with it, with like iMessage. So now whenever I iMessage people, they're like, they don't know who it is. And it's just this random number and it's me. And obviously I'm being really casual, just saying things like, pick you up from the station? And they're like, well, who is it? Okay. If stuff where you really need to know who it is before you like, if it's just like, could I come round? Well, who is it? So there's a lot of who is this? In reply to me just saying extremely casual things like, can you buy me some shower gel? So then I thought maybe that had, and then last night I took it off that number, and now I can't get it back on. So now I've just got no ability to. I think I might have taken away my ability to send text messages. Is basically the. So I think I might be in 1994 or something technologically now. I'm not sure. Which obviously that's where I want to be. So like that's not. That obviously that's what I want. So like I'm not. But I was worried that had messed it up. But you seem to be getting through all right. So I don't know what I don't know what's going on. So anyway, here we are. It's all good.
But
it's all good.
I'd be rubbish if it wasn't, because this is why I have producer Paul. He just sorts it all out. He's so calm as well. I'll be stressing out, going, fuck it, let's just bin it all. And he's like, no, wait, just connect, connect that there, because I'm too much of a drama queen. I'm like, that's it. The podcast is fucked.
Yeah, I that's I kind of occasionally speak to my agents about the stand-up comedians that they represent, and they say, we'll get these calls from these stand-up comedians who are like, right, I'm never doing stand-up again.
And
they're like, we get that. And I mean, I'm not really a stand-up, but I sometimes do stand-up, and I've definitely done those calls where I'm like, I'm never doing stand-up again. And also I always go further. I'm like, I'm not doing stand-up again, and also I'm leaving the industry and I'm going to become a nurse. Like, there's always, if it's gone really badly, the next morning it'll be like, how do I retrain as a nurse? That's basically that's what's. And then they always say, yeah, we get those calls and we leave it for like 24 hours, or we don't actually cancel their tour because they don't want it cancelled. But this is where the agent is basically a therapist.
Yes.
They're just like, yeah, say your thing.
Yeah.
say your big thing. Yeah, no, it's yeah, bloody hell.
Paul's really good at, because I always get in my own head as well if we haven't spoken for a couple of days or whatever, and I start to just go, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He doesn't want to do this. He's had enough. He's busy.
Yeah,
he's really busy.
Yeah.
And then I'll speak to him and he goes, yeah, just message me. And no. Or I'll say, should we just call it? Should we just bin it? And he's like, no, the numbers are fine. Don't worry. I want to keep doing it. It's just that I thought you were busy. And
no, it's funny. Well, it's funny, isn't it? Yeah, we all need reassurance. It's like when you've written something. I mean, thinking about it, I'm probably in the process of literally doing this to people, but like as the receiver. But like people send you stuff, and but when it's the other way around, so like you write something and then you send it to somebody to be like, what do you like? And if they don't get back immediately, you're like, they not only hate it, but they've decided to cut off all contact with me because they hadn't realized what a shit writer I was, and I'm so shit that they don't actually want to be friends with someone who's so shit, in case it like gets into them somehow, makes them shit. And then actually when you call them up, they're like, oh yeah, I just haven't opened the email yet. Like it's just it's like, but no, reassurance is we all should try and cope with less reassurance in life. That's I've had therapy in my time, and one of the things that I recall one of my therapists saying is that there's some famous American kind of guru of therapy who says reassurance only prolongs anxiety. And it's true. Wow. It's completely true. It's like getting a little bit of a drug you're addicted to, and you're like, no, the problem here is that you're addicted to this drug, so you need to it's no good getting a little bit of it, because that's going to keep, but then you'll just come back for more. So you just need to try and do without it. But it's really, really hard. It's really hard.
And I don't understand why. I don't understand where it comes from. So I don't think I do worry, and I'm a bit of a worrier. But this need for prime example. So I was worried that you'd gone. I haven't got time. And then I was in the meantime I was speaking to Joe Pasquale, right? Because I'd worked with him last week. And I got on with him immediately, and I messaged him. And I tried to. He said, "Oh yeah, I'll take my number," and he put his number in my phone, but it didn't save for some reason. So then I'm like, "Oh shit!" So then I emailed him yesterday, and then he messaged me this morning, and he went, "Oh, great email, yeah, really cool. Here's my number again. You've got it. It'd be cool." And I was like, "Mate, would you come on the podcast?" And then he went, "Nothing happened. It just vanished." And I went, no, I've messed it up already."
Yeah. It's when they're a changeable delay. Like if someone's just slow, like I've got people who are just slow, and you're like, well, that's fine. It's just you're just talking to an ent. You just have to be clear that this is going to be big delays. I have several brothers. One of my brothers won't respond unless you specifically put a question mark in there. First he'll be like, well, there's no question marks. So to him, it's like, well, I'm not responding to the news. It's not like
thank you for telling me this.
but the station hasn't contacted me for a comment, so that's a hard and fast rule. And I mean, and I'm actually, to be honest, I'm shit as well. But also, I do that classic thing where I'm more shit with the people that I love the most. So when it's my family, I'm like, well, I don't need to make any effort with them. And I'm like, well, what sort of a fucking human being am I? Like, they're all right. Nah. I'll just check in with my parents in 5 years.
Well,
see if they're all right.
Mike, my wife said to me this morning, she went, because I've mentioned something about parents. We've just been to see her dad. We've been to spend some time with her dad. So parents are on our minds. And so she did say, have you spoken to your mum? And I went, yeah, I spoke to her on her birthday. And she went, that was the 30th of September. It's nearly November.
Yeah. No, I do that. I'm like, I've got a birthday in. I've managed to get that in. And then time passes and you're like, I can't still be dining out on that birthday anymore. It's, but it's terrible. I think they're like voters that a politician takes for granted. It's like, well, I've got them.
Yeah.
They'll always vote for me. What I need to do is go and try and impress these cunts in the middle who don't really know don't really know what they think about anything, and are just really apathetic and unkind. And like, well, why should I? And like, they get all the attention.
That's it. Yeah, I need their affirmation.
Yeah, what's in it for me? Why should I vote for you? They get all the attention. Whereas the people who are just like, no, I'm here for you, man. They don't get anything.
So what?
They don't get anything.
But it's like with Paul again. I always forget to tell him because he'll ask me. So he'll say, "Just do this, just do that," and then I'll forget to just say, "Oh yeah, hang on, give me a minute. I will have a think about it." I forget that bit. I think that, and then I just vanish for a few days.
Yeah.
And he just, but when he's sitting here, this is me explaining to him while he's sat here.
Yeah. No, I know. I know. This is just us saying stuff we should have said to somebody else, probably. Like, can you forward all this to the people I should be saying this to?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it again. I'm not repeating myself.
We'll tag them all in.
Can we not just get this to the people? But no, it's funny. The way we communicate is totally sort of irrational, isn't it? I mean, it's and yeah, I'm hopeless at it. Really bad. I mean, I do all the things that I then get upset if people do them to me. Like I won't respond, and then if people don't respond to me, I'm like, oh, what's gone on? Have I really upset them? It's I'm dysfunctional at it. I'm trying to be better. And I think I definitely went through. I think when I was at my worst was when I had just left home to go to university, and my brother said he texted me once saying like, is it all right if I give you a call? And he said I texted back, I think a week later, saying I'll call you in an hour. Which is just like, it's like, no, it's gone. So obviously it's over now. Whatever, you can't. But I think I'm trying to kind of swim back a little bit to, particularly the kind of the nuclear family, who I feel I kind of got a bit too cool for. And then I mean, I think it's a natural thing when you kind of you move away and then you kind of think, I really should. And also it's becoming a parent and you're like, to be fair to mum and dad, it's clear to me now they must have worked quite hard. Because they it's so I think a lot of it is that as well, and realizing that they had, like, when I was a child, the idea that they had once been a young man and a young woman, abroad in the world with their own dreams, I was like, no, they weren't. No, they weren't. They were nothing, and then they became my mum and dad, and that's when they had an identity.
Yeah,
I was just like, no, they were just amorphous, like, clouds of nothing until they became my parents, and then they must have been like, thank goodness, finally we know who we are. And actually, clearly, it's not that. And then I'm like, fucking hell. So the extent to which they put away their previous life was remarkable. I was like,
oh, mate,
I really didn't believe that they did anything, and other than parent me and my numerous brothers. And it's weird. And I'm a little bit obsessed with this part of. Well, I mean, I say I'm obsessed with it as though I'm a kind of polymath who's alighted upon something of. And I'm just saying I'm incredibly self-centered. I'm always like, I'm really interested in this topic at the moment. It's like, oh, that's funny, isn't it? The specific thing that you're going through. That's weird, isn't it? I always try to imply that I've kind of leafed through an encyclopedia and that I'm sort of, well, I think I'll learn about Central America. But actually, I mean, but the bit of life, because I think a lot of people are in it just because of maths. And I think it lacks a kind of proper term for it. But it's the bit of your life where you're not young anymore, but you're not old, and it's a big bit. It's a big bit, and I kind of call it post-youth. It's a bit like post-modernity. It's like no one ever really knew what post-modern meant, but they knew that we'd have this era called they knew there's been thing called modernism, and they're like, well, we're after that now. We don't really know what it is. We know what came before, and we know that it was before, so we'll just put post. And I think it's that. So it's like, I remember, but realize I'm no longer in my youth. And and I think that is a specific kind of brain state. And it's a lot about, it feels like it's a lot about sort of sacrifice and sort of being sort of, it's a second stage of education as well. I think it's kind of, you're trying to do these things that you didn't really know how to do before. I don't really know how to be a dad, but I'm sort of, the entire plan is copy what my dad did. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, there's no plan. Like, it's just, it's crazy. And then you think, and we only do one life, really, don't we? It's not like you get to do it again and do it better. And you're like, this is a terrible system. This is awful.
We should take this more seriously, but we don't.
Yeah, I take it more seriously, but also like, we should be allowed to do it once in training or something. Can't they do a like, why? What's the point of training for anything if the most important thing in life you never train for?
No, you just have to
seems
wing
very strange.
We're all just.
I think that's strange.
I think that's one thing we've learned from this podcast, is that we are all just winging it.
Oh God, yeah.
Every now and again, you hit a streak, and you're like, I'm absolutely nailing this. But on the whole,
I know.
You just kind of like, oh,
it's like an accident. It's like when you briefly get up on top of the surfboard, and you're like, oh fucking hell! I mean, I've gone down. Like, it's no, it's we are all, and I think it's also, it's when you get to an age where you realize that the people who are in charge of the really, really important things are just people who are in your generation, who you might even have known when you were both younger. And you're like, Jesus Christ, this is hanging from a shoestring, isn't it? This whole civilization thing. I mean, fuck me.
No one really knows what they're doing.
There are people where, like, basically what I mean is, like, the grown-ups in the room, when they're just people who, like, maybe you went to university with or something, and you're like, well, obviously they're great, but they are also just that person that I knew when we were both at university. You're like, wow, it's a thin line, isn't it, between fucking chaos and and society holding together, and it's like it's weird. It's weird, man. But
I think also 40s. It's the first kind of decade where you go, oh, 40s sounds like a grown up. 20s and teens, 20s, 30s. You're still bumbling along. You still feel, but 40s is when you go, oh, I'm a grown up now.
Yeah,
and that's, I feel, the big change.
The thing I always feel is that, like, no one is cutting any slack for a dude who's in his 40s. Like, you are getting no, like, if you made a bit of a mess of things, you're going to feel the full wrath of, like, it's not like, it won't be like, well, he's young, and in my head, part of me still thinks I'm going to get the kind of, well, there's a young man here who's, got a bit overexcited, and I think his heart's in the right place. You're not getting any of that when you're in your 40s. You're like, where's the fucking results, mate? And quite quickly, in the other side of that, it's starting to be like, you're getting cut slack because you're old. There's a very narrow window. Like, I mean, it's like my dad was robbed once, but the thing that freaked him out was when he saw the thing in the paper which said a couple in their 60s have been robbed. And Dad was like, who's this couple in their 60s? And he was like, oh, fucking hell, that's me. and it was, and that's, but what's weird about that is that, like, obviously he didn't like it because it made him sound frail. And he's not frail, actually. He's your classic robust baby boomer who's still, like, lugging breeze blocks around, even though he's in his 70s now. And, like, but, like, and this was a while ago, so I think it was only 60s, but it was like, so then you're getting into stuff where it's like, well, look, it's an old man. He's coming to the end of his time. let's just let him live out his days without. Do we really need to ruin this old man's life? It's like, do we really need to ruin this young man's life? Carries on till about 39. Do we really need to ruin this old man's life? That begins at 60. So I think probably it's only right in the middle where you're like, no, I'm just supposed to be getting this right.
Yeah.
And
but it's
it's not a big enough group, and it's fucking shit being in it.
It is the shit bit.
It's fucking shit, and I don't really want to have to organise. Like when we were on our little sort of mini tour around the West Country, like even just stuff like Hannah had got some chips, and we were eating them on the seafront, and the shop hadn't given us any ketchup, and my daughter really wanted ketchup, and Hannah was like, "Can you go into the hotel and ask if they can get some ketchup?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to, because like we haven't even checked in yet, and like it's like even that." And then I did it, and afterwards I was like insanely proud of myself for being like, "Hi, you don't actually know who I am yet, and we haven't done anything for you yet. We haven't like spent any money in the hotel or anything, but could you give us some ketchup?" And they did. And when I came back with this ketchup, these sachets of ketchup, I felt like I was coming back from the fucking Ukrainian battlefront. Like I was literally like, "Look at me. Look at me, babe. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." Yeah. But like that was basically, I kind of thought, yeah, that's the first thing I've ever done that was actually good. Like, because it's that thing that, you know, when you're young and you just get your dad to sort stuff out. Yeah. And it's just impossible stuff. It's just like, I don't know, like it would be stuff like, I haven't done this, but like it would be stuff like, "Oh, I've accidentally walked out of the shop without paying for something, and now can you ring up and just sort it out?" And like your dad would be like, "Oh, it's so complex, it's such a mess," but like they have to ring up and be like, "Hi, you do," and it's all, and they always have to begin in a situation where like no one knows who they are, and they're like, "Hello, I'm the father of someone you also don't know, and they're worried about this, and can we just," and that's what dads have to do. They have to just come in and like sort out this, you know, big pile of mess, and it's weird having to be the person where you're like, "Oh, that's me now, isn't it?" And it just definitely is. And when you're in your 40s, it's undeniable. It's you're like, I can't even. It's the data is there. You're like, yeah, I know. What can I even do? I know it's me. I know it's me. There's nothing. There's nowhere to hide.
It's like my wife today. My wife Kate. She said, "Look, we've got these coat hooks that need to go in the cupboard by the front door," and she's like, "And we need to put those up." I'm like, "Yeah." And then there's other things that need doing, need putting up, and then I fixed my little ones. He had like a plastic screwdriver that goes with a tractor, and you take all the bits of the tractor off. The screwdriver wasn't working, and then they were like,
I've seen that. That's a good,
brilliant. Toy. But they put batteries in it, and they went, "No, it's still not working." And I'm like, "All right, okay." And then I'm suddenly like, "Oh, yeah, that's how I have to do that." Yeah, that's okay. So I had to undo it. I know. And then I took it off, and there's a bit that needs soldering inside. And I'm like, "Well, I haven't got a soldering iron, so I can't do that." So I got some like blue tack type stuff, and like gummed it in, and then put the thing. And now it's working, and he's overjoyed. And then
fantastic.
And then the hooks as well. And you're going, "Oh yeah, I'll do that." Yeah. Whereas before it was just Dad just sort of did it. He did all that.
No, I know. Well, the thing is, when you do it though, it's an amazing sort of natural high, isn't it? I mean, you feel like the king of the world. But it is funny. I still call my dad, like with stuff with the car. I've realized. I think there's I think if you looked at kind of milestones, it'd be like, you know, you vote, you're 18, and then maybe you have a child. That might be 30. Maybe you get a mortgage. That's probably in your 30s, maybe, if you're lucky. But there's a lot of stuff that's above that. Like I was like, how do I put oil in the car? 40. Never had, like literally 40. There's a lot of stuff that's above children, in terms of age. I've got to mow the grass in my garden. I don't know anything about lawnmowers. I mean, I wonder what's the highest thing. What's the thing where like you've never ever done it and you're like 50. I mean, I don't know. I don't. But I think a lot of it is just like domestic. You can get away without doing domestic tasks until you're really old, or certainly not domestic tasks, but like DIY.
Oh God, yeah.
You can be really old before you've ever done any of that. But like, yeah, I don't even really know. Like, I was going to ask. I'm quite nervous about buying a lawnmower. Basically, I've never done it before, and I was thinking about asking my dad if I could borrow his. But it's like, just buy a lawnmower. But I'm sort of nervous about it for some reason. I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I think you'll be all right now because they plug in. You don't have to. Whereas when I was a kid, it was petrol, and there was always a can of petrol in the shed.
And it's mental, isn't it? Can of petrol. Just keep that in the shed. Like when you go to petrol stations, you're supposed to like not make a phone call and stuff, aren't you? In case there's a tiny spark. But yet people are carrying cans of petrol around. Yeah, they actually had a petrol one. I don't really know why, but it was. But yeah, no, a can of petrol. That does seem.
Yeah, just in the shed.
Yeah,
amongst all the other things like paint and other flammable stuff.
Yeah.
And then stacks of old newspapers. I mean, what he'd done in the garden, he'd created a Molotov cocktail in his shed and just left it there.
Yeah, I know.
And you're going, okay. And then it's only you look back now and you go, yeah, that was like proper dad stuff. Dads would do that. Dads would just they just have flammable liquid just kicking about.
I know. And the shed is always in the shed, isn't it? It's always that's their kind of bit where no one ever else really goes in there and they can just have it how they want. And it's just loads of incredibly dangerous stuff. Yeah. We've got a shed, but we sort of inherited it from the people we bought the house from, and I don't really go in there very much. But my daughter is such a creature of habit that she likes to go in there, and we once went in there and we just sort of sat on the ground, and bad parenting, but I had my phone out and she was like, oh, can we look at photos? And so we looked at photos, and now the shed is where we go to like look at photos. So every time we go in the shed, she's like, get the photos out then. Like, and so I'm sort of I'm coding together. I'm sort of welding together these little neural connections. And then when she's older, she'll be like, they made no sense. Like they were like, it'd be there are these things that like your parents do once, and then you're like, yeah, that was a life lesson. And then when you're the parent, you're like, that was not a life lesson. That was something that happened to happen on that day. That those two things do not go together. It's not.
No.
Yeah, she thinks they do, which is kind of nice. But yeah,
but it is you, as you said earlier, you realise that the adults were just winging it as well. Like they always seemed like they had it together. And now there's sometimes like Dad had just said I'd ask a question and he'd say whatever he thought it was at the time, the answer, and he looked back and go, that's what.
Dads are amazing. I do that. Like I've never not answered a question. I will answer. I will give an answer. And Hannah's like, it took Hannah quite a long time to be like, you don't know the answer, do you? And I was like, well, there's no reason not to answer. I mean, it's I'll always have a go. No, it's funny, isn't it? It's like it's like I don't know what that is, but I've definitely got that. But it
seems that like you, having spent a little bit of time with you with a little tour that we did, which I had a great time, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
And you've been doing a lot of stuff with James Buckley. Now, James is one of those people.
Yeah.
He used to be a kitchen fitter.
A kitchen fitter.
He's done proper jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
So it seems like you and I will worry about, like you're worrying about buying a lawnmower. But it seems someone like him and people I know that are like him just go, it's just a fucking lawnmower, mate.
I know. Yeah. I think we still feel like imposters in that world. Like every time I go to the hardware shop, I always give the lengths in millimeters because I'm like, they like that. They like it in millimeters. And I'm like, they'll clock that and they'll be like, oh, you're in the trade, are you? And then I'll forget, and I'm always flicking back. I'm like, so it's 100 centimeters, 1,000 millimeters. But yeah,
I get it.
yes,
Yeah.
we feel like it's not really, we shouldn't be there, and they're going to find out. And
I'm all right. I think it comes with age as well. As you get where I'm at now in my 50s, and I'm well into that, people just assume you know what you're doing, and are quite not disgusted, but they're just gobsmacked when I don't know how to build a fence. But I'm all right. I'll go in the garage. I'm good at getting in the garage, taking the car in, and because I've had so many shit cars, and I'll take a car in and I'll go. I've got a feeling, mate. It's this 'cause it's making this noise, and 9 times out of 10 they go, "Oh yeah." And also with my accent, that really helps. Like my wife, my wife's middle class. So she's quite well spoken. So when she gets in front of those people, she gets a little bit panicky. She gets awfully, I don't really know. It's making a knocking sound. Whereas so she goes, "You take the car because otherwise they're going to fleece me for thousands of pounds."
Yeah. No, you've got a good voice for it. I can tell also that my voice, I can go more highbrow or more working class, like depending entirely on everyone. I mean, I know this is a cliche, but I probably do the things with taxi drivers where I sort of start like sort of dropping my H's and stuff, and then I can also go, posh, because I'm from Essex, but because I've been to university, and so I can kind of like I can posh it up as well, and it's genuinely amazing. I think how much of a accent is an extraordinary thing. I think in British culture. This is not the main point that I took from all the kind of Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein stuff. But one thing I noticed is that her father, I believe I'm right in saying, was Jewish and was from Czechoslovakia. I think that's right. And he'd fought against the Nazis in the Second World War. Amazing man, I think you'd have to say. I mean, I think certainly that part of his life sounds like heroic. And then he'd obviously emigrated to Britain, and I don't know, but I feel like what he did was he kind of thought, okay, I'm a bit of an outsider here. What I'm going to do is I'll just put on the poshest voice I can. It won't work, but like maybe they'll treat me like I'm really posh and sort of belong at the top. And then there must have been a point where he was like, it has fucking worked. It's just
holy shit.
It's amazing. It's like the accent is incredibly powerful in depending on the uses you want from it. Like you don't want the same accent for all things. Like if you want people to fix your car, then maybe you don't want to sound, too educated. But like it's amazing. I think it's amazing how high it is in the kind of like how high it is in the mix of things that seem to allow you to succeed. And it's no, I do find it amazing. But yeah, we had a lot of old cars when I was a kid. Like my dad, he wouldn't ever get a car on finance, so he'd always want to just buy it outright. But my parents were teachers, so they weren't like they didn't have shitloads of money basically. So he was always trying to buy cars for cash that maybe cost like $1,000 or something. So they was pretty old. And then they'd always get worse. Like I always thought I had travel sickness when I was a boy, and it's because we had this. My dad used to like Peugeot 505s, like three rows of seats, nice car. And at one point, an entire pint of milk somehow got spilt like right into the cracks of the car, like down behind the seats. And from that point on, the car just smelled of cheese. And basically, a dad told us that we all got car sick. But then whenever I go in like the nice new cars bought on finance from my from my friends' parents, I'd be like, it's weird. I know I get car sick, but I never get car sick in these cars. And then after I was like, no, I don't get car sick. I just get sick if I'm around the horrible smell of the old rotting milk. But yeah, that was pretty amazing. Yeah, my dad is he's the sweetest man I know. He's such a chump. Like he got a his recent history with vehicles is that he bought a camper van about 10 years ago. He bought it for best part of 10 grand, I think. I went up with him to collect it, and we bought it back down, and basically it was never right. Like it was just rusting everywhere. Like it was always falling apart. Like the entire time they had that camper van, it was just broken. Like it never like. And then eventually he sold it recently, and I think he sold it on We Buy Any Car.
Oh yeah,
and he got a quote of £500, and then, which is funny because I know it's now a rust bucket, but it was kind of a rust bucket when he bought it.
Yeah,
but he was buying it for 10 grand. So I'm like, well, what's happening here? Because it seems as though when my dad is buying a piece of shit, it's 10 grand. But when he's selling a piece of shit, it's 500 quid. Always. Anyway, the bloke from We Buy Any Car came round, and he was like, oh, there are a few problems with it. And I would have thought, well, I think the few problems with it explains the £500. I don't think the £500 is like, well, it's perfect, so £500. And then he said, to be honest, it's probably going to be more like £75 to £100.
No.
And my dad went, all right, 100. And the guy went, no, 75. and I was like, that is, what is that? Like,
oh,
like what? I mean, why did he? Not even halfway
100.
between 75 to 100. My dad would be like the worst agent in the entire world.
Yeah,
you just do everything for free. It's honestly, he's a very good man, but he's a salesman's dream.
Salesman's dream, yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway,
I'm like that though. The amount of things I've had where I've gone, oh, that's going to be worth a few quid in a few years, and I end up selling it for a third of what I paid for it.
Oh my god!
It's just sat there.
I'm basically like that. So I'm like, you've just got to let things go. You can't. I had a thing once where like I rented a car, and I drove it to. You know what I did? I flew to Scotland. I collected it from probably Aberdeen airport, and then I drove it across Scotland to go and see my friend who lived on the Isle of Skye, and I'd sort of treated myself a bit. It was a BMW convertible. It was brilliant, and I drove it across the Cairngorms.
Oh, nice!
With the top down, and it was great. And then I drove it all the way back down to London, and I dropped it off. And I dropped it off after hours, so there was no one there. I dropped it off, and I put the keys into the little letterbox thing, and I went home. And the next day, they rang me up, and they were like, "We're just wondering where the car is." And I said, "Well, I dropped it off." And they said, "Well, you didn't drop it off." And I was like, "No, I have a physical memory. I can feel my hand touching the letterbox as I put the keys in." and it was honestly astonishing. I was like, there'll be CCTV in the car park. You'll be able to see it. And they were like, we can't really do that. And I basically, at the end, I had to pay him like 500 quid because it was like late.
What?
And I was like, this is genuinely unbelievable. I was like, but it's that thing where you're like, I'm just doing this. I'm just like walking. I guess I'm just walking away from this. But like, it was astonishing. I was like, this is genuinely just wrong. Like, it's just, I drove. How did I have the like how did I have the keys in my hand to put them in?
Yeah.
And I think honestly, I was amazing. And I actually literally think that. And then for a while, I was like, well, I just won't use them again. And then obviously after a while, you're like, because you've had so many shit experiences. Because I was like, well, I won't use them. I'll use this company instead.
Yeah.
And then, but then they do something unbelievably shit as well. And you're like, well, I'll use the third company. Oh, they're fucking terrible as well. So I'll just go back to the first one. Even though the first one, they've already shown that they're a fucking piece of shit. Because they're all a fucking piece of shit. There aren't any. But it was genuinely outrageous. So I was like, the car was there. I drove it up. It was there. It was amazing. It was just genuinely incredible. Like
I remember doing it.
They were sort of saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to use the word gaslighting, but I was like, I was there.
We
the
haven't
car
seen
was
it.
there. They were in my keys were in my hand. But yeah, you just kind of got to walk away from this.
Dude, I had it with I had a similar thing. I had to take a car back, and I said to them, I said, I'm not going to be there when you're open. I said, I'll be there just after. And they said, that's fine. Put them through the letterbox.
Yeah.
And then similar thing. And I'm like, I can't. And I couldn't find the letterbox.
Yeah.
And there was a window that was open, like a top window.
Right. Yeah.
And I went, right, I'm going to fling them through that. So I flung them, and they ended up on the floor in the middle of the office. So there's like a security light that's on, so you can see the keys there in the middle. And I'm like, well, someone can get them, and the car's there. I spent an hour with a branch pushing the keys under a chair. And then they rang me in the morning. We can't find the keys. I went, they're under a chair. I pushed them under a chair. They went, how did you push them under the chair? I went, I had to use a branch. And there was like silence on the other end. I went, have you found them? She said, yeah, we found them. Just stupidity.
It's just brilliant. No, it's just, things always feel in my life like they're teetering on the edge of a complete fucking shambles. Like if I have, there's too much. Basically, there's too many things. There's too many areas of my life that I'm now sort of attempting to kind of handle. I'm trying to. I suppose basically, it's three things. It's my work, it's my fatherhood, and it's all the fucking shit. It's basically the crap that comes through the door. Like my insurer sent me something. I got something from Nationwide saying, just to let you know, we're kind of changing our background insurer. So just because you're one of our clients, and I was just thinking, I cannot begin to explain to you people how little of a shit I give about this. I didn't even know I was with Nationwide. Like, just all you've done is you've given me some waste paper. Like, there are times where I think if I just had a furnace below my letterbox, my life would not change at all. I cannot even begin. I could live 1,000 lifetimes and I would not get to your fucking letter. Like, no offense. I cannot express to you how little of a shit I give about this stuff. Please just stop sending me stuff. Stop putting anything through my letterbox. The extent to which I do not have the time for it is absolutely fucking staggering. The idea that I think in their mind, I've got one of those kind of, like the dad in Mary Poppins, where he's got, some correspondence. It's just some routine correspondence from my insurers. Yes, all received, all present and correct, and thank you once again. And dear sirs, and I get letters that say dear sirs, and I'm like, what? Do you know what fucking fucking century it is. What have I done wrong? Just tell me what I've done wrong. Tell me how long I've got until you fucking come and get me, and I'll try and fucking sort it out, right? The letter should just say, we're going to come and get you unless you give us this money. This is the clock. Just don't dear sirs me. Don't dear sirs me. Like, fuck you. Honestly. Just genuinely fuck you. Like, just accept it. This country is over. We can say dear sirs as much as we want. But this Mary Poppins is not coming back. But yeah, that's why I always feel like I'm on the edge of a shambles, because I'm like, there's too many areas here. There's like work, there's fatherhood, and then there's all of the kind of life laundry, and that you could spend your whole day doing that. You really honestly could. Like, it's and it feels
that's great. Yeah, life laundry is great, and it's relentless. Every time I get up in the morning, I think I've emptied the basket, and I go, "There's more fucking laundry. We did this yesterday."
It's no, honestly, I know, literal laundry. I mean, like, that's just. I mean, ours is obviously, because we have a 3-year-old. It's like I could do it. I could probably be doing it all the time. I have to use the shortest possible cycle on the washing machine because I need that washing machine back. Genuinely, I need 2 washing machines. Because I can't get through, even if I do laundry all day, unless I use the shortest super quick cycle. I can't do enough loads. Like, it's basically like my house is like going to a laundrette, but it only has 1 washing machine, and you're like, well, that's not going to serve the community. It's man, I don't know. It feels like everything's about to fall apart all the time. And again, I'm sort of quite. Again, I'm more and more impressed with my parents, where it seemed to be like they could guarantee a level of consistency. I feel like an incredibly underrated quality in life is consistency. Like, one of the best qualities you can offer other people is consistency. And I think that being able to provide that for your children is a really good thing that you can do. And life is, it feels like it's constantly trying to disrupt that consistency. It's constantly trying to kind of throw it out. And it's like, it feels like it's, your job to try and keep things regular and keep things kind of sort of habitual. And make it appear.
Point. Yeah.
But it's funny, isn't it? I mean, I think you need to, the parent's job is basically to tell a kind of a sort of benign lie to the child, essentially, which is, the world is all right and mummy and daddy are in control. Both of those are lies. And I think coming of age is essentially realizing that they're lies. But you can't not be told those lies. You couldn't possibly say to a child, it's horrible out there and we're both terrified. So you have no choice. So it's like it's the worst of two pretty bad. It's the worst of two bad. Sorry, it's the better of two bad options. It's significantly better, but it's But yeah, I'm aware that I'm doing that just as my parents did it before me. But I do think it's interesting because I think to some extent you can build a child who is less scared than you are. Like, I think if you, like, I've got a friend who said that they have a phrase at his work, which is "do it scared." So it's like, cause he was like doing up his house and stuff. And I was like, bloody hell, you're like doing the plumbing and stuff. And he was like, yeah, I'm just sort of, I just go for it. And he said, we have this thing at work, do it scared. And I think what's interesting is that, like, if you as a parent, you do something scared, if you can give a convincing enough performance to your child, they will do it and they will genuinely not be scared. Yeah. So it is like the closest we can get to like a magic spell. I mean, it really is like you're kind of molding a personality without fear. If you choose that they should not have fear about something, then they won't. And that is extraordinary. I think the relationship between the parent and the child is, I think it's kind of the closest you get to like magic spells and just bringing stuff into existence just through words and behavior of the parent. Anyway, I mean, I certainly wish I don't think I've ever done any of this, but I'm just saying in theory, I tell you what, in theory, you could parent really well. I can tell that now from my shit parenting. And like, bloody hell, I'll tell you what, if somebody really did a good job of this, they could really raise a brilliant child. Somebody could really nail this. Not me, but somebody could. I can see here there's a potential to do something really good. Yeah. But I suppose I feel like my parents did that a little bit. They must have been scared of things and just sort of just did it. And it does literally form the personality of the child, which I think is incredible. So
I think all of that, try it. All of that, like you said, that pretending that everything's fine, is what kids need. And then later on, later on, you can kind of drip feed them bits.
Yeah, exactly.
You probably should pay your tax.
Yeah.
Don't just leave it like your dad did that one time.
No, it's and I think it's. But it's extraordinary. Like the family is like a little island it's like a little sanctuary, and it retains its power. And it's definitely better to do it that way round as well. Like don't start off by saying it's all terrible, and then like try and parent them when they're 30. But like, actually, they're like, well, I know that's not true.
There's a big hole in the boat now that you created at the beginning, and now you're trying to patch it up.
Yeah. But no, it's amazing. I do think it's the kind of, and you realise how short life is as well. You're just because I think about how old I'll be when my daughter, say goes to university, and I'm like, well, I'm just not gonna believe that. That's mental. I'm not having that. That's just denial, just literally denial.
Well, I was like that because I've got the little one now, and I'm like, again, because my missus is a comedian, so she's always relentless, and we said about uni and this, and she said, yeah, but you'll be dead, so it won't bother you. And I'm like, oh my God. All right, mate. But I think you're great, and having seen you in action, and you and your partner, I think you're doing a great job, and everything's. I think you're doing great, mate. Let me tell you that.
Well, thank you very much.
And it's been a good chat.
Thank you, Rich.
A real joy. Where can we find you? Because you've got a podcast with James Buckley.
Yeah. So my podcast is called Joe and James Fact Up, and that is on all the major podcasting platforms. It comes out on a Tuesday. So, yeah. Have a look. Great. And obviously there's a few out now, so you can go and have a look at the ones that are already out.
Brilliant.
Or listen, as you might even say. Although you can look as well.
Thank you, mate. Yeah. You can look, you can listen. It's everywhere.
You can listen, you can look.
Oh, Joe, thank you so much, mate. This has been Joe Thomas. This has been producer Paul. This has been Rich Wilson. And this has been Insane in the Membrane. And we'll see you next time.